Welcome to a course on sequence and series. In this lecture, we are going to define something called diameter of set, and with the help of the diameter, how are we going to redefine the statement of a Cauchy sequence, and we will see some theorems based on that. Let us get into the lecture. Here, E is taken to be some subset of any metric space X. Okay, so it may be taken from any metric space X, and in this metric space we are taking a subset E. Okay, after identifying a set, let this be my metric space X and let this be my E. Okay, after taking a subset S from the set in the metric space X, I am going to identify, I am going to collect the distance of points in. Okay, this may consist of any number of points. Till now I have not specified about my set, metric space X, which may be finite or infinite, and the points inside, and the metric defined on this X may be any metric, right? So under that metric, I am collecting, or I am calculating the distances of points. Okay, so from the same point to any number of points we may collect a distance, right? After calculating these distances, we are putting those distances inside the set S. Okay, by distance, what do we mean by it mathematically? The distances are a positive real quantities, a non-negative real quantities. If I am going to measure a distance from a point to the same point, the distance is going to be 0, right? So the minimum value that is present in the set S is 0. Okay, and it may have any other values, right? So in that way we are collecting the set S. Okay, now the supremum of the set S is called as the diameter of the set E. Okay, still now we don't know what kind of set this E is. It may be finite or infinite. The metric defined on X is unknown to us, but S is what? S is the collection of real numbers. When we talk about the collection of real numbers and trying to find out the supremum, we are just going to see that in the real line. Okay, so and the supremum of this set is called as the diameter of E. Now let us see some example. Let me take my X to be R, right, and E to be closed interval 2, 3. Okay, this is what I am taking. Now, what is my S? Okay, here I am going to the maximum distance inside these points can be what? It is 1. So 2 here, 3 here. The distance between these two points is going to be 1. Okay, and if I take any point in between these two points and try to measure the distance from 2 to 3, it is less than 1. Even if I measure the distance from this point to 3, it is also less than 1. Okay, when I measure the distance from 2 to 2 itself, I will have 0. Okay, now I have spoken the things calculating the distance between 2 and 3. If I take any 2 points in between, this distance is also less than 1 because the maximum distance is 1, right? So my S is going to be what? Closed at 0, closed at 0 and closed at 1. This is my S. What is supremum of S here? It is 1. Right? So diameter of the set E is 1. Now let us speak these things in R2. Okay, my E is the collection of points xy such that x minus 5 whole square plus y minus 7 whole square less than or equals 2. Okay, now when I try to plot these things, I think you okay, instead of plotting it on the board, I will show you on the screen. In the screen you may see what is this, what is the collection of these points, right? Now here 5, 7 is the center. Okay, from the center if you try to measure any point on the circle, it is the distance is 2. Okay, and when you try to measure some point inside the circle from the center, it is less than 2. Okay. Now you take a point on the boundary and take another point on the other boundary. Just parallel. Just draw a perpendicular line and see to it. What is the distance? What is the distance it is having? It is 2 times plus 2. Okay. So it is going to be 4. Right. If you are going to collect all such distances, the maximum distance can be 4. Okay. And the minimum distance can be what? 0. Because from a point to that point, the distance is always 0. We know that the metric is a non-negative quantity. So it will not go lesser than 0. Right. Hence, the S value for this set is going to be closed at 0, closed at 4. Therefore, supremum of S is 4, which is the diameter of E. Right. Supposing in the same thing, I am taking my set, let me call it as E1, it is xy, such that I am taking x minus 2 whole square plus y minus y plus 4 whole square less than 4. In that case, my S is going to be what? Closed at 0, open at 8. Even then, my supremum is going to be what? 8, and it is the diameter of E1. Right? Now, we are going to redefine the definition of a Cauchy sequence with the help of the diameter idea. Okay. Now, let us take Pn as some sequence in, I don't know whether this is convergent or not. I am just taking this is a sequence in the metric space X. Right. After taking this one, let me denote En to be the points Pn, Vn plus 1, and this goes this way. Right. I am identifying a stage in a sequence. From that stage and rest of the points I am collecting inside my En. Okay. Now, when will I call the sequence as a Cauchy? By the definition of a Cauchy sequence, I say that d of Pn comma Pm is less than epsilon for whatsoever the epsilon value, and there must exist some positive integer n such that this is true. Right? Okay. Here also I have identified a stage n. Okay. After that I am collecting the points inside E. Right? So what are we saying? This is the distance after the stage. The distance is going to be a negligible quantity. Right? So if I talk about diameter of this set, that is going to be what? The supremum of the distance between the points inside the set, right? So when I take this n goes to infinity, what can be the diameter? It has to be 0, because it is what we are saying here, right? The distance is negligible quantity, which means it is almost 0, right? So that is said in this. By this, what we are saying is that a sequence is said to be Cauchy if En is the points of this form and limit n goes to infinity, diameter En is 0. If this condition is satisfied, then we can say the sequence is Cauchy. In this theorem, what we are going to prove is that E, we know that E closure, right? In the metric space X. Whenever we are talking about a closure of a set, we will have to talk in which metric space. That is very important, because we have seen the relative openness and relative closeness. So based on that, it may differ. So whenever we talk about a set and its closure, we have to talk in a particular metric space. That is given. Okay. The diameter of the closure and the diameter of the set are equal. That is what we have to prove in the first part of this theorem. Let us get into it. Okay. We are aware that E closure is E union E prime, where this is the closure of set E and E prime is the set of all limit points of E in the metric space X. Right? So this tells you what? your E is a subset of E closure, right? So you may see here, this may be your E and this may be your E closure, right? Just for the convenience purpose and to make this concepts clear to you people, I have drawn this diagram. This is not an appropriate one, okay? This is my E and this is my E closure, right? The points outside these things is my E prime. This may be, these are included in my E prime. I don't know that is exactly my E prime or not, okay? Here you may see that your E is a subset of E closure. Whenever your set is closed, what happens? Your E and E closure is same. That is why we have the equality as well. And we are talking about the diameter here. So the maximum, the supremum of the distances of the points inside E will have to be less than the maximum distance in E bar. That is evident from this itself. Hence, what we have is diameter of E is less than or equals diameter of E closure. So here what should we prove? We have to prove the other way. Okay. For which let me fix epsilon and I am choosing some points in E closure. Okay. Whenever I choose these points in E closure, what is this? These 2 points are either members of E or limit points of E. I don't know what it is. Okay. Then we can identify P prime and Q prime in E such that d of P comma P prime is less than epsilon and d of Q comma Q prime is less than epsilon. Okay, what is the epsilon doing here? Generally when we talk about the limit points or points, okay, generally when we talk about the limit points, we must have a radius. Here epsilon is acting as the radius for the neighborhood. Okay, and whatever may be the radius of a neighborhood, we are able to identify some point inside the set satisfying certain condition. This is the condition. Okay, if I treat this P and Q are limit points of the set but not points of the set, this P prime and Q prime are different points which are present in the neighborhood with radius epsilon. Fine. If this P and Q are present inside E, this P prime and Q prime may be same as that of P and Q. Okay. Still now we have not said whether this P and P prime are different, Q and Q prime are different. We have not said anything of that sort. Right. So whatever may be the points that I choose from the closure, I can identify some points in E such that these conditions are satisfied. Okay. Next, we are going to consider the distance of these things. Okay. I am going to calculate this distance. I still don't know what this is. I am going to apply triangle inequality. This is d of P comma P prime plus d of P prime comma Q. Okay. Now I am going to repeatedly apply triangle inequality for this quantity. Okay. This quantity I am not changing anything. For this quantity I am introducing new point. Right. What is this? This is less than epsilon and this is as it is and this is okay, sorry, this is epsilon, right? So what we have is d of PQ less than 2 epsilon plus d of P prime comma Q prime. Here you very well know what is epsilon. It is some negligible quantity, right? And now I am going to take a supremum, right? So taking supremum, what do we mean by taking supremum? We are collecting all such points of this sort. Okay, you may choose whatsoever points P and Q in E closure. For all those points in E closure, you can identify some points in E such that these things are happening. Okay. You are collecting all such possibilities and trying to find out the maximum out of it. So when you take supremum, this becomes what? This is the diameter of E closure. This is epsilon is negligible positive quantity. When you remove this part, these two have the possibility of becoming equal as well. Okay, either it still remains, this quantity still remains lesser than this quantity, or have the possibility of becoming equal but not the reverse one. So this is going to be diameter of E, since these two are taken from E. Okay, if you mark this as equation 1 and mark this as equation 2, these two completes what? Diameter of E is same as that of, diameter of E closure is same as that of diameter of E. Right? Okay, now in the second part of this theorem, what are we going to prove? We have a sequence of compact sets in a metric space such that the previous set contains the next set. Okay, when you try to plot that in some rough diagram, this may be your metric space. Okay, if this is your K1, these kind of set is your K2, you have K3 inside, K4, K5. This is going this way, right? You have a sequence of compact sets of this form in which K1 is the largest set, K2 is present inside K1, K3 is present inside K2. Okay, this is going that way, and it is also given that limit n goes to infinity, diameter Kn is 0. If these things are there, then we'll have to prove in the intersection we have exactly 1 point. That is what we are supposed to prove in this theorem, right? And okay, this is a sequence of compact sets in X such that these things are there. With the help of one of the previous theorems that we have studied, okay, what we have? This intersection Kn where n runs from 1 to infinity is non-empty. Okay, by one of the previous theorem. I don't know exactly what that is. Okay, in basic topology, we have studied these things. Suppose this intersection has more than 1 point. Okay, let me take this intersection as K. Here, what can we notice? Every Kn contains K, right? This is for every n. This is true for every n, right? Since K is assumed to have more than 1 point, what can be the diameter? If we have two different points in the sense, let x comma y in K such that x is not same as that of y. Therefore, d of xy is bigger than 0. It cannot be equal to 0. When this is going to be the case, then diameter of K is also 0. And from this, what are you going to have? You are going to have diameter of Kn contains diameter of K, is bigger than diameter of K, right? So combining all these stuff together, we have diameter of Kn bigger than diameter of K bigger than 0, in which I am considering only diameter of Kn is bigger than 0. And you just make limit n approaches infinity. What happens? Diameter of Kn, limit n approaches infinity is 0. This still remains what? Limit n approaches infinity, diameter of Kn bigger than 0. This is a contradiction to the given statement. Therefore, we are coming to a conclusion that this intersection has exactly 1 point. Right? Okay. Here, can we remark something? Just before, while defining the diameter. After defining the diameter, we have rephrased the definition of a Cauchy sequence with the help of this diameter idea. Okay, whenever you are given that diameter Kn is 0 when n approaches infinity, which means there is some Cauchy sequence present inside it. Okay, we may take it in that way as well. Okay, whenever they have given something of this sort, okay, you are able to define a Cauchy sequence. You are able to define a Cauchy sequence in the metric space X, where after a certain stage the elements are collected inside Kn. Right? Thank you for watching.